Hello my dear Capricorn, this is your love and spirituality reading for the month of April 2019 with me, Queen of Cups Tarot. We are soon entering into Aries season, so happy birthday to all Aries out there. And also when I'm doing this reading, there's still Pisces out there, so that is going to have their birthday. So I read for the signs in the order of most liked videos. And if you do hit the thumbs up button, you're truly helping me to flourish here on YouTube by giving more attention to my channel. You can see the order I read in this time around at the community section of my channel. And thank you all for liking, watching, commenting, donating, and subscribing to my channel. I am super grateful for all of your appreciation. And this is a general reading for sun, moon, and rising signs. And the reading can go both ways. The drama is the same, but it can be different castings to the different roles by the universe. And for this reading, I will use the Crystal Tarot by Elisabetta Trevisan. And I will start shuffling your cards. So when I open your deck here, Capricorn, I see the Queen of Cups together with Ace of Cups. So it seems like someone is in love. It might be also that you have found your center of gravity, self-love. It's very beautiful. It's like being able to acknowledge one's own feeling and being able to validate them and kind of go with the flow here. So whatever you are feeling is fine. So I call the divine with love and light. And here we have the Five of Pentacles together with the Queen of Cups. So I think many of you feel vulnerable when it comes to emotions. And it has felt maybe like a weak spot of you to have emotions. And to show them towards others might make you feel at risk, okay, of being rejected, for example. It might be that there's a water sign out there, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, that feels rejected by you or out in the cold by you. But sometimes it's hard to be the one that have the most open heart, loves the most, act from one's heart space. If no one else in the world does, it can be a rather lonely affair, okay? Everyone else are cold-hearted snakes. Okay, so that's the song. So I will call the four archangels, I guess. I have forgotten where I were. So, and here we have the Seven of Swords together with the Queen of Cups. So again, Seven of Swords in this situation, I'm thinking, is a very low self-esteem. It might also be a little bit of victim mentality and why is this always happening to me, and a bitterness towards life, a little bit passive aggressiveness maybe. So that's very important to deal with. It's fine to have a lot of emotions. If you have a lot of emotions and you can follow your emotions, you will have a great intuition. But to feel as a victim because you are the only one maybe in your close circle that has their heart really open, or maybe there's a certain person who wish had their heart open and they don't, it's not making you a victim. Only time things makes you a victim is when you don't love yourself. If you don't love and respect yourself, yes, you will be the victim. So with the Seven of Swords, it's very important to take back your power. Instead of thinking that other people have power over you, and if you act like this, they will share it with you, or if you act like this, they will show you love or mercy or whatever. You take back your strength, okay? You decide that you matter, and people are allowed to treat you like this. They're not allowed to treat you like this. So it's about becoming an adult and seeing that you have the power to take care of yourself in your life and not giving away your strength to other people, or giving away the control of your life to other people. So only the days when my wife are nice or my husband is nice is the days when I can become happy or be happy. No. So if someone is making your life a living hell, it's like what the card says, notes from the universe. If something hurts your eyes, stop looking at it. If it hurts your ears, stop listening to it. Sometimes we need to be courageous to be able to take really good care of ourselves. We need to do sacrifices and not be codependent anymore. Okay. So 6 elements: earth, wind, fire, water, spirit, and ether, to join us here today and to give us a clear view reading for my dear Capricorn viewers. So I want my dear Capricorn to have love in their lives and to find themselves in loving relationships. I also want you to have creative success and to be able to walk on your highest path towards your highest destiny. Okay, so so I will just tune in to you, Capricorn, and the energy of this reading for a few seconds here. Okay. So, my dear Capricorn, this is your future there, and this is your now, and this is your past. In the past, we have the 6 of Cups. So I think you have been dealing with childhood issues. The way that you might have gotten treated when you were a child have put some mark on you, and you have repeated a certain pattern up till this point here with the 6 of Cups, when you started to look at this and probably give so much more love to yourself, which maybe your parents or the people taking care of you weren't able to do, not because they were evil, but because they have limitations and problems of their own, projections and hiccups and wounds that makes people acting somewhat crazy sometimes. So I'm thinking this is a situation, might be a relationship where you these patterns comes to surface because we often, if we have unresolved issues, we often find people attractive that kind of carries the traits of our mother or father or sister or brother, so that we can solve these issues with this person when we weren't able to solve it once as a child. And with the 6 of Cups, it can also be a reunion from a soulmate relationship that have happened, that you met someone that you might have been living together with in a past life. It doesn't have to be as lovers. It can be they were your sibling, they were your child, they were your parents, so on. But I'm feeling in this life they are probably this one significant person is probably a loved one of yours, like a romantic partner. Okay. And this is your now, and we have the 10 of Wands here for April. So 10 of Wands is rather intense. It's someone trying to have control, maybe over their childhood issues. For example, we can see what we are doing and know that, okay, this isn't super perfect, and we try to deal with it in the best way we can. For example, by ignoring the fact that we have abandonment issues, ignoring the fact that we were overwhelmed by our mother, and now we get super scared whenever someone gets close to us. So we try to overrule or override this and trying to have real great control over ourselves. And this is very typical Capricorn, even if this is a fire, this 10 of Wands is 10 of fire, but to try to work really hard to become perfect. I'm thinking this is a typical Capricorn trait. So it would be better if you could accept yourself a little bit more and love yourself and kind of heal this wound from the bottom up, instead of just trying to cover it with your very strong, it's like you're very strong in controlling yourself, okay? So it would be better if you maybe could express a little bit more. It's very good to talk with your friends and so on of what you have been through without making yourself into a victim. You can say, I can see that I have this pattern, it probably comes from that, and like search a little bit into yourself why you act in the way you do, and also let yourself act in the way you do. If people really love you, they will tolerate you if you take responsibility and you say, I know I'm jealous, and whenever it spills out on you, I want you to be able to tell me that, tell me your boundary, okay? But also take in consideration that I have this jealousy because I was once abandoned by my father. He went to hospital. I didn't see him for a very long time. The grown-ups didn't want children there, or children to see this. And when he come home, he was kind of changed. So this can be a reason to a person being jealous. It doesn't have to be as dramatic as that. It can be a parent going away for work for a week, and that can cause a lifelong trauma with a child. So you can't really protect your children from these kind of things. Often they are destined, because something you have experienced in a past life gave you a trauma or a wound, and then in this lifetime it kind of needs to be reawakened by something. So the destiny sends away one of your parent on a work trip and this triggers your old trauma, so that you can work with it this lifetime. So it's not a bad thing. It's a thing that points towards your wound. What is still unresolved with you? What kind of fear haven't you overcome just yet? And you can't force yourself to overcome this fear. You need to actually be able to work through it and have a lot of consideration for yourself. No whip like this, okay? Don't be hard on yourself. When you're hard on yourself, you also make yourself very controlled, and when you are this controlled, you also want others to be controlled and on top of their game. So you're having very high expectations on people that they might ever be able to live up to, and then you will get disappointed and take it very personally that this person can never say that they're sorry towards me. I always see to say that I'm sorry if I have done something to upset someone. Well, that person isn't as good as you on pushing themselves to do the right thing. So you need to take better care of yourself to see to that, give yourself justice, and keep your boundaries instead of thinking that everyone is like you and have this super control over themselves. Most people haven't. So they will do a lot of stupid things, which is not personal towards you. It's their own issues that they own, and they need to take responsibility for. But you need to take responsibility for how it affects you. So if you have a person in your close surrounding that is irresponsible and do stupid things and never say that they're sorry, you might need to do something about that. Okay. So this is your future. And we have a 5 of Swords here. I think it also came for Leo in this position. The 5 of Swords and 2 of Cups and 3 of Wands. I'm thinking you have something unpleasant to sort out with a loved one or several loved ones in the future, where you're going to have to start to see what's really happening. And even if you love your mother to death, for example, you might need to start to see the patterns between you two, so that maybe you are sometimes tolerating things that you shouldn't. I'm just saying mother, but it can be, a friend, a coworker, a lover, whatever, a child even, that you have a pattern with that you haven't been able to see. But it's something that's very refreshing because it's here so you can work it out. And it's a cooperation, and it's built on love. So the love is the glue that keeps you together, so that you will work on this. So I have a little bit of a cough from the influenza I went through, so I will have to pause now and then to not cough in your ear. So this is interesting. Feeling something else, like I missed something, but probably it will come through here in the reading. So this is your past, and we have the Six of Wands there, but also the Ace of Wands. So Ace of Wands is ignition. It's like, okay, now it begins. Everything is set. The stage is set for you to do something. It's like action is required from you to deal with a certain pattern. Since we had the Six of Cups underneath there. So it can be, for example, let us say that you are the third party of a relationship. The person that you love promised to leave their boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife for you, but they haven't. They have just enjoyed the ride, and here you're starting to maybe feel a little bit pissed off with this Ace of Wands ignition, and you're going to have to do something about this situation, and it's going to put an end to a pattern, hopefully, if you now allow yourself to heal yourself and not be caught in patterns where you kind of are begging for love, begging for mercy, begging for other people to be just towards you, begging them to treat you nice. There's no more begging. It's I got the torch now, I got the fire. It doesn't always have to be that you are suddenly angry and changing a pattern. It can just be that you're longing for someone so intensely, and that's the ignition for this drama to begin, okay? Or you're just super attracted by someone, or you have a dream. You want to follow your dream, and that can be the ignition that will start the whole drama. And the drama is good. It's somewhat uncomfortable for us human beings living here on Earth, but it's necessary with this drama to it's like a theater. Everyone has their role, and you are playing your part, and another plays their part, and it's like living the same nightmare over and over, and you're supposed to figure out how to deal with the situation in the best way possible, that nurture you, your soul, the most vulnerable parts of you, and also taking other people's vulnerable souls into considerations. And it's about value also. Here we have the Knight of Chalices, so it's like you are the Sir Percival in the search for the Holy Grail. So it's very beautiful. It's a very spiritual journey, and it walks on the path of love. So we learn a lot through relationships, and specifically love relationships that have the capacity to kind of act like a honey trap for us, to force us to do a work that we have maybe avoided to do when it comes to family and friends, because we can maneuver around that and maybe not always be with that person, or just be nice when you are with them, and then try to overcome how they are behaving towards you. But if it's a partner, you can't really stand having those issues. You are going to have to work through them. So it's a higher demand on you to resolve these issues. So a love partner is perfect for this spiritual path here. And Knight of Chalices might be a Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio. We have had the Queen of Cups and now also the Knight of Cups. So I'm feeling a very sweet, yummy feeling, and it's either you starting to really take care of your inner child in a very loving way, kind of carrying it in your hands like this, so I won't let anyone hurt you anymore. Or it might be someone very much in love, either you or another person. And here we have a Knight of Pentacles. So we can see these two knights are meeting here, and it's probably a divine encounter. Okay, it's something that was destined to happen. It's pre-written. Before you went down in this incarnation, it was settled that these two souls were supposed to meet. It's probably you and another person. Possibly a watch sign, can be any sign. We have also fire there, so it's an indication, but It's just what I feel is that it shows a person that's in love, okay? And in you, they are in love with you. So that's sweet. And it's a destined relationship here. And both are knights, young. So this is, you're on enchanted territory, in a situation which you have just, you have worked on it a little bit before in past lives and in this lifetime, but you are not an expert. You are not a queen. And it's not time for closure, it's not a king. So it's two people being rather unexperienced in this topic, going to meet and trying to figure this out together. So it's exciting. What can go wrong? So, okay. And here we have a 9 of Wands, and it comes behind you here. So I'm thinking you are tainted with some kind of trauma. You have been through something that was somewhat difficult for you, and it has marked you in a certain way that makes you a little bit into a warrior, also being a little bit judgmental and kind of expecting people to not be nice. Okay, so you have your guard up, ready to protect your heart, strong, and you meet this little Percival here that comes with this spiritual mission. So it might be interesting. They might not have bad intentions at all, but with this 9 of Wands behind your back, I'm thinking you are going to see a lot of bad intentions. And when we are very fearful of something, we are probably going to get it. If you say this person is most likely going to be unfaithful, and the universe says, okay, your wish is my command, and you put a lot of effort into this, fear is it's a very piercing energy, so it's very creative. So it's creating the things that you fear the most. So to try to not be fearful without controlling yourself, accept the fear, accept that it's there, be aware of it, be curious about it, and don't make it rule your life. Okay, so I'm very, very super scared that this person will be unfaithful. Often we can also have problems with distinguish if it's our intuition or if it's our fear. But sometimes it's both, because we are creating what we fear. So our intuition is telling us we are going to create what we fear. So it's a circle argument. Okay, and here we have the Hierophant. So the Hierophant is Taurus. Here comes in a lot of experience, but I'm thinking it's experience that have made you a little bit judgmental, or making you, you kind of know already. I've seen this book in the library before. You are that kind of person. I don't trust you at all. But it's intimacy between these two people, because there's nothing separating them here. They're very close together. So I'm thinking this I'm picking up on is the problem. There's a lot of beautiful things going on here as well, because these two, they are actually very focused on each other. So this person is kind of seeing, oh, there you are, and here, yes, here I come. So it's a recognition also here. I've seen you before. I have seen you. I know you since before. It's like we have so much to talk about. But then it comes in this, your actual experience that's not the experience that will actually help you so much in this situation. Is more experience that's fear-based, and it's how we learned once. We can see this as society, human civilization. When we came together in groups of humans living together, we learned a lot of things. We learned how to heal ourselves. We learned what kind of plants we could eat and what's toxic. We learned what kind of animals we could eat and what would eat us. And there was a lot of fear. There's a lot of things that was dangerous out there. So we became fearful and, watch out for that. And we made stories to scare our children to not to do things that was dangerous. And I'm thinking it's this fear that has gotten like a life on its own. It's survival. It's a drive to survive that's making us go into our old wisdom, what we have known. So if you, for example, have been bitten by a snake, you might in the next lifetime have a fear of snakes. and it might become a phobia. So it's this kind of things I'm talking about, where something that, yes, it's dangerous, but it doesn't have to occupy your whole life and all your thinking. When it does, you start to create a fear based reaction that will attract this what you fear. So if we are I've seen my daughter became fearful of spiders because her father was super fearful of spiders, and spiders followed her everywhere because they actually wanted to be her friend. So they came in all shape and forms. Once we painted her a child room green, and it moved in like 1,000 green spiders, and they were everywhere. And yes, it's very funny. Every time we were on a coffee shop or something like that, a spider would come down just beside my daughter. So no one else, but just her, giving her a lot of attention and healing, actually. And today she's not scared of spiders anymore. And this is how we need to deal with these kind of things, to actually confront our fears and put them where they belong, because we want to be wise. So we can kind of know that by this wisdom, we will know that taking a skateboard to the roof, trying to drive down into the pool is not a good idea. So it makes this person very wise in that sense. It can, some things that people really needs to try out, other people already have the knowledge that no, it's not going to be a good idea. So that's how we should use this kind of energy, not making it about being super scared of skateboards and pools and rooftops, and you know, it's too intense. So it's something here that's a little bit too intense. So you need to put yourself in a situation where you expose yourself to the thing that is scary until it's kind of not scary anymore, and you own it. So you don't control yourself to a nosebleed. You actually get on top of the situation instead and do something about it put some energy into the situation and solve it, instead of just putting this lid on. It's like putting a lid on a volcano, forcing you to go into an elevator even though you will faint with fear. So that's not what I'm talking about. It's like thinking about, today I will go and ride the elevator. You go to the elevator and then you turn around and go home. And you go to the elevator, I'm going to ride the elevator, and you go to the elevator and turn home. You were never supposed to ride the elevator. You just go to it and turn home. Until you one day, you can actually ride the elevator without fear, okay? So this is how we are healing our past life dramas and traumas. And in this case, it's most likely that there's a person or a situation in a relationship that's causing the phobia. So it might be that you're very scared of, being abandoned is the most normal or common, but also this with being overwhelmed, or so many different things that we can be scared of when it comes to relationships. So that was in the past. So we met someone, they kind of triggered our fear, our kind of wisdom-based fear, but fear that had started to have a life on its own. So it's like it's like when PTSD, it takes over your whole life. So everything is about this trauma, and it overshines everything. And that's when something becomes big like this, it really needs our attention and our healing. And here we have the Fool, comes underneath Ace of Wands. So when we go into an incarnation, we have this ignition. We can see the wand here. So our mission, and we feel the longing that will steer us in the right direction to what we need to know. But we don't remember the baggage, okay? So it's kind of the Nine of Wands there. We don't remember it, but it's there. So we are soon going to be reminded, but as of now, it's like, oh, this is nice. It seems like I've known you before. And it's this energy of feeling the whole world is on our feet, and you can already picture yourself getting married to this person. and nothing do you know about what's coming here with this. And it's like the circle or the sphere or the spiral, where we are going to learn something over and over again until we are so equipped that we can be called masters of this. I'm a master of abandonment. So if people abandon me now, I just continue loving myself, and abandonment is not a problem. So that then you have a master's degree in abandonment and you're fine. So you don't want to live your life in a desert, but you can if you have to. And here we have a 3 of Cups, and it comes underneath the Knight of Chalices here, which I feel is very, very, very much in love with our Capricorn, most likely. So it can be the other way around, that this is Capricorn and this is the other person being very fear-based and maybe a little bit more wise in this situation, and thinking, having a lot of what ifs, and I know what's going to happen, this is going to happen, and this is going to happen. What's the use of feeling happy or, jump? It's like, don't laugh until you have been able to jump to the other side of the creek. It's a saying in Swedish. You shouldn't laugh before you have jumped over the river or the little water stream. But this person does. Okay, it's a person taking out all the happiness in advance, and they are so happy and so much in love, and everything is so beautiful, and life is wonderful. And here comes this other entity that says, how can you think that life is wonderful? There's so many dangerous things out there. We can be eaten by a lion tomorrow. And this person, well, who cares about lion? I'm happy today. The sun is shining. I'm in love. And so it's very different approaches to this. So one will probably enjoy this relationship a lot more, while the other one will just wait for the other shoe to drop. So they're not going to be particularly happy. So if this is you, Capricorn, letting go of control a little bit might be exactly what the doctor ordered. Here, there's a lot of love here. It's a soulmate kind of love. It's from the source, deep love. Okay, so a person is feeling very happy and maybe being with you, or you feel very happy with being with them. So this person is like a 3-year-old. They don't have a worry in the world. They are on top of the world. Everything is new, exciting. They are so curious, and they can't wait. It's very hard to fall asleep because they can't wait to wake up into another day. This person, however, knows everything about that, the past and the other shoe, and that will drop and so on. Yes, okay, so next card, really central, we have the Hermit. So it seems like, Capricorn, here you are the student of happiness. Okay, you're here now to study happiness. How can I be happy when I know all the things that can go wrong? How can I be happy when I know how I will become hurt, how I have been hurt before? When I am so wise and know so many things, how can I relax and how can I be happy? So the Hermit's answer, which is also the answer of the Buddha, is to not have any desires. So it kind of means, if a person leaves you, that's fine. You can say, I accept that if this person doesn't want to be with me, they will leave me. I accept that there's a risk that they will leave me. And you will be fine by it, because you are here in this lifetime just for a short second of universal time. It's just like this, and then you're gone. So what's happening here, everything is going to be taken away from you. So a great practice is to allow things to come and to go. Come and go. Not being attaching to anything. There might be situation that's more ideal, and we want to go towards them because we want to be happy, and that's kind of what also makes us solve a lot of problems and never give up on our quests, because we have this beautiful longing towards making life peaceful and wonderful. So we are not supposed to just acknowledge, okay, life is shit, it will always be shit, and I give up. I just stay here in poverty and filth, and this will be my life from now on. It's not about that. It's about accepting things coming and going. It's kind of accepting death, dying before you die, realizing that everything will be taken away from you, except from your living spark and the love that you have in your heart, because that will be taken. You can take it with you. Also, your wisdom will be taken with you. That's why we're here, to collect wisdom, to collect experience, to learn everything about ourselves. So if you can go into this hermit kind of mood of acceptance, you won't be fearful of the person betraying you, for example. So if they betray you and you find out, you can do something about that the very day that this is happening. But if a person is unfaithful towards you, and it doesn't say anything about you, okay? It doesn't agree your life value. It doesn't agree your value. It doesn't say anything about you. It says something about the other person. And if you feel like you can't take someone fooling you, that's not your soul. That's your ego. Ego doesn't want to be humiliated. It's the worst thing for the ego, to become humiliated. So you need to let go a little bit of the ego. The ego is there to keep you alive. It's kind of the Hierophant situation here, where we know a lot of things. I know a lot of things, so I will be the one surviving over all of you. So that's the ego. The hermit is more like, I will be here. I will survive and serve as long as God wants me to, and then I'm gone. So that's a deeper wisdom, and it doesn't cling to life or to possessions or to control. It just accepts that I don't have control over this. I'm here to experience the story, but I don't create all of the story. Something is already written from me. Something I write with my dreams, like here, and something I write with my fears, like here. But there's a weave. It's a cooperation, a co-creation that's happening all the time. Butterfly's wing in Brazil can cause a tornado on the other side of the world. Okay, so it's like this with math. It's math. One little thing being changed and everything changes greatly on the other end. So we don't really have control. We can just experience and kind of enjoy the merry-go-round. And here we have a Queen of Pentacles. So the Hermit is Virgo. The Queen of Pentacles is Virgo. This is Taurus, and this is actually Taurus as well. So it seems like you're going through the different phases of Earth. Taurus maybe being kind of the youngest, but also the first. In one way, it's our purity, to be good servants and to work very hard to make Earth a beautiful, beautiful garden. And sometimes they overdo it, and it's all about possessions and cars, and that's when it went a little bit south. And then we have Virgo, being the Hermit here. It's a side where we go inside and ask, who am I? Why am I here? What am I supposed to do? And that's the Queen. And then we have the King, that's Capricorn, having a lot of control, being the father, knowing what to do, also taking a lot of responsibility, carrying a lot of load on your shoulders. So it seems like you're going through all these kind of phases. How can I create? Who am I that is creating? And how can I manage my creations? So it's very beautiful, but it's a lot of, it's like you're taking on a lot of responsibility here. But with these two together coming as two, I'm thinking it's about you also learning a lot, being very wise in another sense, not this how can I survive sense, but in a more spiritual sense. 9, and the Queen of Pentacles. So I'm thinking here you're seeing that your issues is not here to, destroy things for you. It's actually here to give you food for thought, give your food for spiritual growth and personal growth. So you're kind of investigating, almost like Sherlock Holmes kind of energy, this old trauma of yours. Okay, so I'm super scared of this. Interesting. What can I learn from this? How am I supposed to deal with this? what is asked of me. How can I face my fear? So it's very beautiful, it's very calm, it's also very accepting. So I accept whatever happens. That's a very nice key to happiness, because if you don't try to control the things that can't be controlled, you won't have to tear your hair from your head, okay? You won't have to have nosebleed because things doesn't go your way with this control that's here. Next card is the World card, and it's 21. Go back to Taurus again, and also Venus. So I'm thinking you are learning this with how to walk with the divine while still on earth. So it's a really beautiful awakening here, where you put down all these worrying things and kind of take up the wands here, the spiritual reason to why you are here in the first place, instead of being here whining about why things isn't better for you, why the pavement isn't like smoother, or why you had to trip there and why this had to happen. You're more, okay, everything happens for a reason. I trust the divine plan for me, and I'm not going to be a victim anymore. Either I accept the things that's happening, or I accept it and I do something about it. That's also a possibility. You can accept it and accept maybe that there's nothing to do about it, but you can also accept it and then start to take measurements to improve the situation. So this is kind of a master's degree that's coming here, and it comes through very hard work by looking at yourself, okay? And maybe in contradiction to these people here that seems to so happy and carefree, what makes a 3-year-old so happy and I'm as a grown-up are so heavy and full of thoughts? If you can solve that, you will have your degree here. That's what's going on inside of you. Externally, I'm thinking you have a person in your life that can serve as a poster boy or poster girl for where you need to reach with your next spiritual awakening here. So reaching to a state of bliss. How can we stop worrying about tomorrow? I'm thinking this is also a picture of your inner child. You once had this capacity to not worry about everything always until you get old and wise, and now you worry a lot. So try to get back to that energy. Also the things that made you happy when you were young. Small things that you did that you could occupy your whole day with and be in bliss. Why did you desert them? Why did you abandon those things? And can you find a happiness with those small things again? So try to put a little bit more joy in your life while you're also kind of settling with this serenity prayer. I accept the things I cannot change and change the thing I can, and have the wisdom to know the difference. It's something like that. And you have a lot of wisdom. It's just that the wisdom has made you a little bit fear-based. And as always, the table might be turned. You might be this hopelessly foolish, blue-eyed, naive energy that just skippity-scop out in life. Everything will be all right. Doesn't care about the consequences. It might be you as well. And it might be a Sagittarius. We have the Knight of Wands here. That's Sagittarius energy. So it's very spiritual energy that is very bold and brave. And it's very trusting towards the divine. It just trusts. It's like the bumblebee going from flower to flower here. Just trusting that this is my life work. This is what I'm supposed to do. And it's fun. Okay. Not worrying, what if all the flowers are gone? I will starve to death. Okay. No, if all the flowers are gone, the bumblebee says, okay, so the season is over and I will return to God. And that's what's happening. So it's not attached to anything. It's just enjoying things here as it goes along. Creating beautiful things that might be remembered, might not. This is not the kind of person that will erect statues over themselves. This person would. Okay, statues. So I will live forever. I don't need to live forever. I'm an eternal soul. So it can be a person seems reckless. What about, they don't care about commitment. They don't care about making plans for tomorrow. This person can drive you crazy with being inconsistent, and you might feel like you can't trust this person. And it might be totally true in the way you have perceived things. They might never live up to your expectations, but they are here to teach you something. Yes. So I hear a song. I know something about love. So I will write it down. I think there came a song in the beginning and I forgot to write it down, and now I forgot it altogether. I will try to listen to the video again and see if I can remember. About love. You gotta want it bad. If that guy's got into your blood, go out and get him. Okay, and here we have a Six of Swords, so it's time for some truth-telling here. So this person is bold also when it comes to the truth. So I'm feeling for some of your point of view, this will be a person that might not have admitted to their love before, but now they will. Okay, Six of Swords. They're going to speak from their heart. And in other case, this seems like it's in this person's personality to just blur out what's in their heart without regards for the consequences. So it doesn't seem as so much an effort. Knight of Calluses, I love you, you are my life. Three of Cups, we have always been together. I can feel you in my soul. And here I express all these kind of things to you. So it's not particularly complicated. It's a person being far less than complicated. There's a book about Jungle George. In Sweden, it's Jungle George. It's a very funny movie. And this person is a person that have been left in the jungle when after a plane crash. It's kind of a child's version of Tarzan. And a girl says, well, I want to know all your secrets. And a wise monkey says, well, George's Secrets, that must be the shortest book in the world. And this is the shortest book in the world. It comes an idea and it's expressed. An idea expressed. It's like a child. Everything is just passing through the child. Nothing is getting stuck. Nothing is difficult. Nothing is sad or impossible. It's just everything is a miracle. It's very beautiful energy, and this kind of energy is usually short-lived, because the person will wake up one day and see that, okay, there's a lot of struggle, gravity is heavy on me today, and they will turn old and this energy will be gone. Or the person is like the dragonfly that only lives for one day. They enjoy everything and then they're gone. It's like these kind of people are the people that die young, because gods love these kind of people and they are kind of already done. Why are they here? There's no use for them to be here. They are master of everything, and so they can come home. So I'm not saying anyone is going to die, but I'm trying to explain the energy I'm feeling here, that this is like the God seed, but people on earth might see it as like a stupid person or a reckless person or a person that doesn't seem to have their shit together, and they are always happy and thinks nothing is a problem. What's up with them? I think Jesus might have had this kind of quality, and it made people feel like, where is his authority? And he had a lot of authority, and he had to prove it over and over and over again that he had this authority. They never believed him because he was this beautiful, naive, trusting, blue-eyed, maybe brown-eyed energy in this case. Okay. Knave of Wands, so more expression comes through, expression here also underneath you. So I'm thinking again, it's a meeting here. Here you were a little bit, well, is this for real? Looking into this situation, and I can't believe my eyes here with this person. Is this for real? And studying this energy and learning a lot from it. But here they were just coming into union, and here it's kind of the same. Six of Swords, expression from the heart. Knave of Wands, expression from one's soul. And it comes here, Hierophant, Queen of Pentacles, Knave of Wands. So it's like a person stepping out of their their persona and stepping into their soul and expressing themselves from their soul. Instead of this more wisdom-based adult kind of energy, it's like they're meeting this other person with the same childlike attitude. And it's very beautiful. Okay, and here we have this Queen of Cups that came in the beginning, and she comes underneath the Queen of Pentacles. Okay, so this is when where you start to deal with your fragile feelings. That was maybe what you tried to prevent all along, for these fragile feelings to ever become touched. If you did everything by the book, everything was controlled, you wouldn't have to deal with difficult emotions or emotions at all. Some of you will recognize this as the person you are dealing with, that they have been very closed off and kind of a little bit cold, watching you and thinking, what the hell are you doing? Why are you so blue-eyed? Why are you so naive? Haven't you lived here on earth? Haven't you seen all the problems? But here this person starts to take forward their vulnerability, and their vulnerability is the thing that they have tried to keep boxed in for so long. We can see this with for example, my parents' generation. They have been very much about swooping things underneath the carpet. If we don't talk about it, it's not there, and the problem grows and comes with them as they are walking here. They walk with their shadow everywhere because it's not solved. They haven't resolved this issue, and I'm thinking a lot of the shadow is this. It's a child and feelings that were never really taken into consideration or cared for. It was just, no, don't make noises, don't talk so loud, don't bring up these problems. We had such a nice day, didn't we? Why did you have to bring up these problems? Swoop, 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 swoop. So we cover this up. But here it comes out, probably because you have seen something. Might be that you are being called by your own inner child, but most likely you have seen something on the outside, or someone has seen you as a very great example. And here they are now taking out their feminine side. 9 of Wands. They have kept them in a prison somewhere to protect them, safeguarding them from everything. But also that prevent this energy from being fully alive. This is the feminine queens, earth, water. So they are the softer queens, not the Amazonas warrior kind of queens, but the soft, yielding, giving kind of queens. These are the things that people are so scared of. If you touch this part of me, I will die. So therefore I built, it's like a Sleeping Beauty glass coffin to my queens, so they will not ever be touched. But here I think the prince have come and kissed them. So they are waking up, okay, and 10 of Swords. So this is how it feels. And this needs to be dealt with. This needs to be gone through. All these skittish, scared emotions, one by one, piling up like a big, it's like you can put, if you are on an isolated island, you can put a little message inside a bottle. And here behind your closed door or underneath your rug, maybe in the basement, the whole basement is full of these bottles. And it's things that the inner child and your feelings, aka intuition, wanted to tell you during your whole lifetime. Maybe also during your parents' lifetime. So it might be ancestral karma also. Things that haven't been resolved by your great-great-grandmother. Brushed underneath the carpet, and here it's all there for you to deal with. So this is not assignment for any weak-hearted person. It's an assignment for a person that are ready to feel their heart. Okay, this person that's going to have to do this is going to have to read each and every one of these things. It's like going through 1,000 deaths okay? So it's not pleasant, but it's the great news is that this is not going to kill you. It's just going to feel like it's going to kill you, but it's not going to kill you. It's the thing that we have avoided the most, not talking about it, not feeling it, not touching it, the most ugly truth of all, and it might come in the thousands and thousands and thousands. So when we are called like this, we usually go through the dark night of the soul, which is kind of a calibration where these fellas here are going to get back into full respect, okay? So the child, the happiness, you're allowed to laugh again and run around like crazy. The heart, you're allowed to feel again. You're allowed to tell people when they hurt you. You're allowed to tell people when they make you happy. You're allowed to tell when you have a hunch, a guess, a thing coming, an intuition. You're allowed to validate your own emotions. You're allowed to be scared also. You can be scared as long as you are scared. And scream also. You can scream and be scared and have panic attacks, and that's fine. Because this needs to come out. It needs to become expressed. So a person might have feared panic attacks more than everything. And here you just are going to have to go with the panic attack. It's like 10 years ago or so, there came an idea from the United States, actually, that affected my chiropractors. So they started to see that if they did certain small manipulation with the body would manipulate itself. So a client that they have touched in a certain kind of way, triggered in a certain kind of way, started to move like worms on the table, and just the vertebra and everything were just putting itself into the right place, healing themselves. And going through this, letting go of control and letting this happen can be a scary experience. It much like resembles Kundalini awakening. And this is what I'm seeing going to happen here. You're going to have to trust the body and trust that it knows how to heal itself. So go with the panic attack, go with you suddenly losing your eyesight and feel like screaming for a whole day. Go with you suddenly being so fearful of cars that you refuse to ride a car for a whole year. Go with all these kind of things, because it's things that have been brushed underneath the carpet that needs to be expressed now. And when you express it, when you go with this, your body is so wise. Imagine this. Nature created everything. Human beings can kind of, we can copy nature's creation, but they are not as great as the thing that nature created itself. For example, we can make a nuclear power plant to create energy. Okay, nature already created the sun, so we can ever match this. So therefore, when you trust the body, you trust something that's much more wiser than your logic mind can ever become. Okay, so all the wisdom that you have collected here won't be as wise as the body is. It's always one step ahead of you, always knowing the next invention, always knowing the next upgrade, the next evolutionary step for you to take. So just trust it, go with it. Either it's a panic attack or sudden rages or whatever, just go with it. Don't hurt other people in the process. Sometimes we will get very angry and mad and throw things around. As long as you don't throw things at people and you don't say things that you will not be able to take back, I'm fine with it. You need to, aggression is a higher energy than the energy of sweeping things underneath the rug, which will only cause lifelong depression. So this is healing from depression. And it's also suddenly, if you were so fearful of losing your life, and then one day you are not fearful of losing your life anymore because you know you're an eternal flame, so what's there to fear? Okay, so I'm thinking you are going to face your fear. You're going to do it with flying colors. Your body is going to heal you, and after that you will be totally transformed. You will not recognize yourself. You will not have your old fears. Most of them will be totally swooped away, and this will be a great purge. And it's not happening with any tower, any death or anything. It's just happening by spiritual growth, by evolution, natural steps. It's like the seed that becomes the flower. It just happens. So it's very natural. It's not disruptive. It's beautiful. It's going to be a little bit uncomfortable though, but that's how it is. There's a beautiful Swedish poem or a poet, Karin Boye. She was writing about this. If it didn't hurt for the flower to kind of unfold, spring wouldn't hesitate. It's very beautiful. Maybe I can find it in English translation and put it in the description box for you. So, okay, time is flying. So I'm going to look at first your spiritual path here with Oracle of the Angels. So for my dear Capricorn, harmony. Yes, so this is going to, you're just going to flower out. It's just going to be a big, like you are so ready to just become this flower. So harmony. It's possible to experience harmony even in the midst of chaos. This is because harmony comes from within and it's not dependent on external factors. Choose to live more harmoniously today, embracing all that is without judgment. Take a moment to go within and connect with the inner sanctum at the heart of your being, where harmony always abounds, and consciously choose to bring some of that harmony with you everywhere you go. I center myself and create a protective bubble of love and light around me. Harmony is available to me at all times. So I'm thinking a lot of mindfulness practice where you just accept whatever you feel, because that will give your body some authority to heal itself if it's allowed to feel what it feels, instead of being like, oh no, I shouldn't feel like this, I should feel like this, and adjusting. We can do it like this: mindfulness and then meditation. So mindfulness, accept everything as it is in your body right now. And then when you have done so for as long as you can stand it, 30 minutes, 20 minutes, 5 minutes, 2 seconds, and then doing meditation and kind of bringing in light, spreading it around in the body will be very helpful. So what does your significant other feel about you? Enjoy your extraordinary uniqueness. Do you know what you created? No, besides an intergalactically known saunter named after you, inspiration in the eyes that have watched you, hope in the minds that have admired you, and love in the hearts that have known you. But you might ease up on your sachet before someone gets hurt. Not bad, kiddo, not bad at all, the universe. So it seems like you have been a real good example to someone, and show them an alternative way of living that is amazing. Okay, so in this case you have been this person, and the other person is the one that has been fearful of letting things out. But it's always like this, that what we see in the other person is also, it's mirrored from within us. So from our shadow we see the people on the outside, because this is how we are able to see ourselves. So if you hate what you see on the outside, try to understand and love it. You don't have to withstand it, but you can understand, okay, this person is in a really bad place. They are self-destructive, they are abusive. So if you have more compassion towards them, you will also have more compassion towards yourself. But it seems like you have really walked your walk and talked your talk here, and made some beautiful impact on other people in your life, making them see you as a very good example. And this is how you perceive them. And we have turn on your love light. Sometimes the best way to remain sane is to love like crazy. Works for me, the universe. So it's kind of what I just said. Don't hate, love and understand, still put great boundaries, okay? So I also felt this, you needn't worry. There's no one in your life who hasn't always loved you. They're all just learning how to show it. Big silly is the universe. So it goes very well for this entity. So for those Capricorn that have been fearful of showing them their true self, or why should I be vulnerable? The world is such a hard place. Not understanding that your vulnerability is your soul. It's your strength. 9 of Wands is actually a strength card, bringing up strength from the bottom of your being. So you thought they were the devil, but actually they are your salvation. So learning how to show love is a great thing to do here. Okay, so my dear ones, I want to welcome you back to my May reading that I will perform in the middle of April. I also want you to keep a lookout for my pick a card readings. I have having the flu, so I haven't been able to do the one I was aiming towards, but hopefully if it's meant to, there will come a pick a card reading. So okay, take really good care, and bye bye.